Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Don't Blame Me, where we, your two favorite people with the first initial M, give you advice that changes your life for better or for worse. We like to think for better.
It's for better.
I think if it's for worse, it's only temporarily for worse because you're like pissed off that we gave you the advice you actually needed to hear. And then like a couple of years, you're like, okay, you were right.
Yeah, it's enriching. We're enriching people's lives. And sometimes with enrichments, it takes a little long to bake that goodness inside of it.
So would you say that people who are listening to this podcast in their car, they're having enrichment in their enclosure?
Yes, they are.
Let us know.
In their ears, if they're wearing headphones, just enclosed in their ears.
Your skin suit is your enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Too meta. Can't think about that too much. Well, this is a podcast where we give you fantastic advice. And if you'd like to participate in an upcoming episode, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. International listeners, you can send us an audio message at meganpodcast@gmail.com. And you can also slide into our DMs. So for the audio version, it needs to be under 3 minutes. You need to, we ask that you write everything down, practice it a couple times, make sure it's timed out under that 3 minutes. You include all the relevant information. And then for the written version, keep it under 300 words. Again, that is to the same email address as the voice memos or to our Instagram DMs. And then the requirements for everybody is 18 or over, have your parents' permission, and include as many details as possible. We always want your age. That's one that we're always going to like beg and be determined for. Also join our Patreon to watch Melissa have her full body chills. And I've been, the last couple of days I've been doing it so often that Moss just gives me this look being like, are you sure you're okay? And I'm like, it just happens. I don't know why it just happens. So, yeah, we need all of that info. You can let us know your pronouns if you would like, but just know that like if you don't give us all the information, we can't give you the best possible advice. So it's a win-win situation if you give us all the deets. Because here's the thing, I always want to be on your side. It's an unfortunate day when we're not.
Yeah, I can't always be on everybody's
No, we
side.
can't always be on your side, but sometimes you don't include the information that solidifies us strongly on your side. And then we start having questions, and then we're like, ooh, and then we find out like, oh no, it was this. And it was like, oh, okay, well, so on your side. So help us help you.
Help us help you, help you. Help us help you.
Help us. Melissa said she thinks it's going to be a really great episode. I am feeling a little loopy. I have allergy eyes.
Do you want to know what time I went to sleep?
Here's the thing. It's either going to be 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. yesterday.
You were correct the first time.
Well, I was going to say we did text pretty late. I woke up on the couch and texted you back and then went back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm on my period, which makes me extra tired. So I did sleep a lot during the previous day and then couldn't sleep last night.
The whites of your eyes are so white.
I put the drops in it.
Oh my God. I was like, first of all, no solidarity in my allergy, sister. I'm over here. My eyes are barely open.
But I'm getting that burning in the middle part. Yep. So they're open, but it's a false sense of openness.
I'm still jealous. And like, you have betrayed me.
You should have put drops in this morning.
I don't think I can put those ones with LASIK, but maybe you can.
They make some that you can.
Yeah, maybe. I just don't know about the white ones. I know there's like a certain, like some ingredient. I don't know.
They moisturize them enough. It's not the ones that I use they're not the kind that like, it's not specifically for whitening your eyes. It's just a byproduct of them being moisturized.
Send me those because I'm an eye drop bitch. Constantly in my eyes, eye drops every day.
I've sent them to you in the past.
You're saying this as if I'm not someone who constantly forgets things.
Yeah. But when I sent them, it would have been years. It was when my eyes, like lockdown, pandemic, my eyes couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And I got those. It's the kind that's for like people that are looking at screens all day.
Oh, that sounds enticing. Yeah. Hop that link over to me one more time.
Okay.
Anything you want to get into before I guess promote the Patreon so you can see the really white, Melissa's like incredibly white eyes. Don't do that. I really don't like that. That's the difference between your eyes and my eyes. We have similar shaped eyes. My eyes can't get that wide. Like they cannot.
That was too much.
So yeah, join the Patreon. You can live stream with us. We hang out, make friends. And you can also watch the video version of the podcast.
All right. We have a sort of update, but they're going to give us a bigger update later. It's from last week's episode, The Dancing Couple.
This sounds like a painting, like a Renoir, The Dancing Couple.
The Dancing Couple. If you look at her Instagram, it's very artistic. So
okay, I'll stop.
Thank you so much for answering my write-in this week. In this week's Don't Blame Me. I'm the sensitive dancer, LOL. I'm gonna re-listen because I'm in shock that Meghan and Melisa have given me advice. But the bits that have sunk in make me feel so seen, and you're both just the best. I'm gonna play it for my boyfriend when we're together. We're mid/long distance, hence the relationship check-ins. And he listens when I'm at his because I basically play the pause all the time. I'm going through the archives at the moment to make sure I've listened to every episode. So your voices are the soundtrack to my life and his. Thank you again so much. You truly are wonderful human beings.
That is so nice.
That's so nice. You can skip like the first 15 episodes.
Thank you so much for that. And I'm looking forward to the update to the update.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a lovely dancer.
You are.
I just don't.
I like your Instagram.
Me too. I like your hair.
All right. Shall we get into the first one?
Yes. Hi, ladies. I always have to read it like that. I'm a 28-year-old female with she, her pronouns. So I was in a group of friends a few years ago. It was a group of 3 couples. All of our husbands grew up together and the 3 of us just clicked. Oh, I don't like where this is going to go. We went on couples trips together and had a good time. So around Christmas, we saw a shift with one of the couples. Myself and my husband and the other couple noticed it as well. So for Christmas, we all got each other Christmas gifts. Well, that one couple who started acting off was the only couple without kids, so their budget was bigger than ours and the other couple. From the vibe they give off after the gifts arrived, we all lived in different cities, they weren't happy with their gifts from any of us. We noticed a shift but didn't think anything of it. So fast forward, we were planning a surprise birthday trip for my husband. We picked out a lot of Airbnbs in the city we were going to, or B&Bs, bed and breakfast, or I don't know which one of those we were going to that were price conscious. We're more concerned with the experience than an over-the-top B&B, and the ones we chose were still nice. So as we're about to make the deposit, they back out and say, "This isn't the trip for them," in quotations. So my husband and I and the remaining couple moved some things around and decided to do the trip in the city that the couple's actually from. Not to hang out with them, but because it is a city familiar to all of us and we know places to stay and things to do. So we did hotels since it was just 4 of us. Well, they came up to the hotel before we left to go out and things were weird. She was acting very standoffish, and as the night went on and the drinks started flowing, things started to feel normal again. So we had a good time and thought everything went well. Well, we came back and my husband forgot to give her husband back a necklace he suggested that he borrow the night before. Mind you, we live 4 hours away. So we overnighted the necklace because she threw such a big fit over it as if we took the necklace on purpose. After that group message, it had all died down and they don't really talk to us anymore. The other couple remaining and us were still very close. Recently, me and the other girl were talking about reaching out to see how she is. Is it dumb? It's literally been years, but she has been heavy on both of our minds. Any advice would be great. We all now refer to the situation as Chaingate. I love when people name things in their lives like that.
I know.
First of all, the fact that you've gone years without trying to figure out what the fuck happened, I could never. I need to know.
Are you? But you also would just ghost too.
No, but I would at least stalk to be like,
oh,
what's happening? Why did you guys do this? Like to figure out not what's happening in her life, but what happened with the friendship. Because can I say what vibes it's giving me? It's giving me husband and or wife or both of them accuse them of having a crush on another person who's there. It's just getting weird. And they made it weird because of that.
I think it's they outgrew each other financially because they have more disposable income than the couples with money, and they want to stay and do things that are not in the price range of the other 2 couples, and they didn't want to be wherever they ended up being. And then the necklace was kind of just an excuse to get out.
I think you're right, because I didn't pick up on until you said that the quote unquote "this isn't the trip for them" was this place is dingy. I didn't realize that that's because and then you're right, the necklace ties into being we have money and you don't, and it feels you just want the benefits of our money and not to put the rest of it forward, which I also think it's a little weird for one husband to be you should wear her necklace.
Or was it the guys using the necklace? I think it's the guys.
Oh, okay, that's not weird then.
But yeah, I just think that y'all outgrew each other. Sometimes it happens and it's unfortunate, but if they actually cared about you, they'd still care. If I'm that close with friends, I should still care about their children. I want to know what they're going through. They don't care about you.
Yeah. I guess why do you want to reach out? Is it do you want to be nosy? Do you want to see if she'll respond? Or
do you want closure?
Yeah. Because I think you're right.
They have kids now, and then that might change things in their perspective. Or are they still without kids? Or what are you trying to get out of this?
Yeah. Because if she just says oh, I'm amazing. How are you? And you're good. And it's okay, bye.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you again in another 15 years. But yeah, I don't think it's dumb, but I think if it weighs heavily on your mind, you figure out what outcome you're looking to get out of it. And then let's say that's not the outcome you have. Is it worth the effort? Is it that will it put an emotional, will it put a toll on you?
Yeah.
If it doesn't have the outcome that you want, or is it no skin off your back and it just rolls right off?
I had a friendship breakup, and the person really, I truly never would have been friends with them if we didn't have a mutual friend in common. And then that mutual friend moved away, and then things got weird. And she reached out to me last year. I played you that weird, creepy voicemail she left me. Voice message. It wasn't even a voicemail. It was a voice memo. And I listened to it, and I was creeped out. And then that was it. So just be prepared that you might not get a response.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you would leave a creepy message, but I did not want to be friends with that girl. And so I didn't respond back.
Yeah. And she also might be mad at you still. And I don't think you did anything wrong. So it's just about what are you prepared for? Because I'll be frank, sometimes I kind of poking the bear, and I'm let's see what happens. This could be fun. But if like there's like there are things that she could say that would hurt my feelings, steer clear.
Yeah. Good luck.
Let us know what happens.
Yeah.
Chain gate. I would like to, moving forward, I would love if people do these things in their life. Like they have things. Me and my friends refer to this as blah, blah. Include it. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Give me a little name. It'll really help me too in updates to remember. Like, do you remember Chain Gate? I'm like, love it.
Also, like if you have nicknames for people that you have them saved in your phone that you're like no longer actually talking to, but that's the name that you gave them. So then when it pops up, it's a reminder of, I don't want to talk to this person. Let us know what that nickname is.
Did you see that video of the woman who found out on Paperless Post that like if you clicked like invite all, it invited as and now they've changed the whole format and they were like, so sorry that had to be that had to happen in order for these changes to be made. Yep. Terrifying. Like Anthony, angry face, shitty landlord. Like mine, I literally have one of my first ones because it starts with A is Agent from Hell, which is like one of my first agents I ever had.
Me and my friend had this dude called Long Bangs because it had nothing to do with the hair on his head. His pubes were like long and it looked like you could just like wisp it over. Like just
I never even thought it had to do with his head because I was like, boys don't have bangs. It's somewhere else. That hair is somewhere else.
Justin Bieber hair from
a swoop,
the aughts, and so it was like a swoop, and so that's when we would see him, we just go swoop.
I bet that man is a Dyson Airwrap. I bet he swoops that every day now. Wow, swoop.
And he had no clue what we were talking about.
We are going to take a quick break. Think about the swoop in your life, and we will be right back.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
Merry Christmas, everybody! My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody! Let's go!
And we're back, and it's time to get into some of the rest.
All right. Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I've been a loyal listener for over 6 years. I'm 25, she, her, and I'm writing because of a situation with a close friend. Let's call her Chloe, 25, she, her. Chloe and I became fast friends a couple years ago when we joined a nonprofit as volunteers. We shared a lot, including my insecurities about guys not being interested in me, which has affected my confidence. We share similar views on community impact, so we ran for chair, me and vice chair, her, and won. Last year, we met 2 guys from the same organization but different chapter city at a national summit. I hit it off with one, Marcus, and Chloe with the other, Peter. Peter got a girlfriend recently, and I continue texting with Marcus sporadically. Chloe teased and encouraged me to make a move when we saw Marcus again. At this year's summit, Chloe and Marcus started talking a lot and kind of disappearing together. When I asked Chloe about it, she assured me I was imagining things. 2 months ago, he returned to the summit and things were weird. Last night, Chloe told me she's been talking to Marcus this whole time and he's planning to visit her from his town 5 hours away. She didn't explain much, which I guess is valid. I told her I was hurt and confused, but happy for her and would try to get over it as it never was more than a silly camp-like crush, I guess. How would you handle this situation? Keep in mind, I have over a year left with her as my co-chair and we need to remain civil. Thank you.
I would kill her because we can be civil when you're dead, bitch.
I went to one of the church events that I would go to. I think this was a Bahama one, but there's this guy that my friend was into, but like he was more into me and he kept asking about me. And then she just was like, do you want to talk to her instead? And then I was like, I'm not talking to him because you were interested. That's how friends should, that's how it should go. If one likes the other, and you shouldn't be behind their back encouraging them to go after this dude when she's been talking to him the whole fucking time. You can't trust this bitch.
And I don't know what your nonprofit is for, but is it about good people? Because I also wouldn't trust her there.
No. Is she in charge of money? I don't trust her.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. This is diabolical because it's she's watching you and to then talk about it and then be like, oh my God, it's nothing, to then come back. So then she and then tell you oh yeah, we've been talking this whole time. He's going to come visit me in 5 months. This isn't oh, you found out all of this stuff and she finally came clean. It's she was so intentionally leading you to believe one thing so then she could drop the bomb on you. That's the other. That's fucking weird. That's such weird behavior.
This girl is not your friend.
No, it's giving it's the premise of the other girl who becomes obsessed with you and wants to wear your skin kind of a thing. It's that's what the vibe is giving.
Yeah, no.
But there's one. And then
I know exactly what you're talking about. With is it Leighton Meester and
well, no, that's one that's based on the other one.
Oh.
I'm just saying it's literally a premise. I don't even know what the original one is, but it's that. And that's what this vibe is kind of giving, that it's she always had this you've been in competition in this sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't ever want people to be necessarily jaded or whatever, but I do think as someone who is a chronic oversharer, I'm not an emotional close to people kind of share. Even my close friends are bitch, you do not divulge emotional things.
Neither I do, which makes us the perfect pair.
Yeah, but it's kind of I deal with my own shit and then we can talk about it later, we can laugh or whatever, but I just don't do that with other people.
Yeah.
And that's not, despite the fact that we do, it's not necessarily a good thing. It usually comes from being the oldest sibling, or it comes from being an only child, emotional, whatever it is. You're I can count on myself and I'll let everybody else in who I can count on later, but let me get the day one stuff figured out. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I dropped my pen. So I don't want you to lose the fact that you are so open and vulnerable with friends and stuff, but advice to everybody, if you're going to be a overshare, I'm like that. It needs to be stuff that does not have the power to hurt you until someone has proven that they can be with that information. Cause that shit's nasty. That's a vile, twisted, creepy thing to fucking do. So honestly, how I would handle this situation. Also, by the way, you saying this a silly camp-like crush. First of all, camp crushes are not silly. They're so silly, but they're not silly. It's you take that shit so seriously. If someone hooked up with my camp crush, I would have lost my fucking mind. If that man went to my high school, would I have had feelings for him? No, it was camp goggles, but that doesn't fucking matter.
But also, it's just the fact that she's been talking to them this whole fucking time.
No, and like the fact that like you trying to downplay to be like, oh, she was like a silly camp crush. I'm like, but you met him the same way she met him. Like this is not nothing.
Yes.
And she knows it's not nothing. Not you, caller, but like Chloe knows it's not nothing. And like, yeah, this is just so
Be
diabolical.
civil with her, fine, in the meetings. If you can find something, some loophole in the bylaws of this group, kick her out and get another co-chair. But just be civil there. She does not need to be your friend outside of this.
I would be to the point of being like, Chloe, I know I said I was happy for you, but I was like a little bit confused. I take it back. I think you're incredibly spooky, and I'm not interested in being within your orbit. So you do your thing, I'll do mine. And if she like tries to talk to you, I don't know how tall she is or how tall you are, but act like you are 7 feet taller than her and just be like, did someone hear that? Like, oh no, like literally don't even give her the time of day. Like the pleasantries of it all. As she walks up to the group that you're in, you can just smile and say, oh, excuse me, I've got to go take a call. Like, don't let her think that like other people should know that you are like, oh yeah, they're not close.
Right.
You don't have to keep up appearances in that sense.
Bitch.
Literally what a fucking bitch. Like the way I did see a TikTok of someone talking about people in the Bay Area. Like the first thing you go to is like, I have to fight them. And like the way that my mind initially went to violence, and I was just like, I have to push her down a flight of stairs.
I was thinking about just a right hook right into her cheek.
And you do right hook, I'll do a nice little uppercut.
Honestly, it should be switched based on our heights, but
no, then she'll never expect it.
Yeah. That 1-2 punch.
Exactly. Turn her off the scent. She goes, damn, whoa, up, down. Well, fuck Chloe. And please give us an update, because I just know that something sinister is going to go on. Like, she's not going to stop here.
Yeah. Like, what else is she doing?
Like, imagine starting messing your volunteer work.
I know.
Like, you're not getting paid to be there. You don't even have to be there. You're opting in to do this, and
You're
then
not
just
opting
creating chaos.
in, but you're the co-chair. Like you sit on a committee.
Yeah, what are the morals and ethics clauses of these positions?
All right, next one.
Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I'm writing in for some relationship advice. I'm 32 years old, she, her, and I've been with my boyfriend for just over a year. We have a really great relationship. Our only issue is that we're long distance. We have to fly to see each other, but we've been able to maintain a relationship because I travel to his province, hello, Canadian, sometimes for work, and his whole family lives where I live. We've gotten to the point where it's only getting more difficult being apart, and it feels like we can't progress our relationship without moving to the same place. I was covering a maternity leave for work until November, so we had started talking about me moving in with him either this summer or in the fall, since my work was only a contract and he had just gotten a promotion and would like to stay at his job for a couple more years where he's working towards a major event. A few months ago, I was offered a permanent position by my boss that's kind of my dream job, coach for a sport that I've been involved in for my whole life. I talked to my boyfriend and I accepted it because I only had 2 days to accept or decline, so I kind of felt like I had to. I cried the day I accepted the job because I was so looking forward to planning and moving in with him, and now it felt like I was pushing that farther away. In my 20s, I would have never considered giving up any kind of opportunity for a partner, but I feel like with my age and where I am in my life and other priorities, I want kids, etc. I also don't want to lose my boyfriend, and while he has been very understanding, I feel very bad that I've kind of changed all of our plans. We have a whole month together coming up, and we said we'd figure out a plan or at least a timeline during that time since we're both struggling with the distance. There is the possibility that I could get some part-time coaching work where he lives, but I do worry about walking away from this job and never getting a similar opportunity again. Ultimately, I just don't know what to do. I would really appreciate any advice or guidance you could give me. First question, is he feeling the same way because he valued his career opportunities over dropping that and like moving and like starting over in a kind of different position than you did, and you're very much struggling with it? I think both of you made the right calls, but I wonder how much he questions if he made the right call or how much guilt he is feeling, because I think if he's not feeling as much as you, I would be wary that like, why then is it the default that you would be the one who derailed the plan? You know what I mean? Like the plan was in his favor before, and then you got essentially the same opportunity he got, but later it like if you wouldn't have expected him to like drop everything and move to where you are, I don't think it can be expected for you to drop things and move to where he is. Another thing I would say is that like I am a big believer in like, yes, you have to put work into relationships, but the sacrifice of relationships is for the common good, not for an individual's good. Like, I don't think a sacrifice you make in a relationship is leaving your dream job. Like, I think a sacrifice you make in a relationship is both of you being in a city that maybe you don't love, but it's equal distance to whether your work or your families or those things. It's like a sacrifice on both people's parts. It's not like one person giving up a ton of stuff for the other, because that puts like a lot of undue pressure on the relationship to be like, well, I gave up X, Y, and Z for this. So I just think that like, if you have to give up and sacrifice a ton for a relationship, like a year in, maybe that's me being like superstitious or whatever, but like, I don't think that's the relationship. And I think like, if you have to make these acquiesces or whatever, like if you have to kind of rearrange these things to get what you want in the end, which in this case you said is kids, why is it you making those sacrifices and not him? Like, because at that point, then I think you're not viewing it as this is the relationship versus this is the relation. Like, this is where I'm at, and I want to make this relationship work for me for where I'm at and what I want in my life. And I think that there are people who are nearby you who will be at the same place in their life, who are ready for what you're ready for, who don't require these kinds of sacrifices.
First of all, congratulations for your job. Like, I know that finding a coaching job, a full-time coaching job, is very difficult. One of my close friends, she had one, and then she moved for her. It's actually a very similar situation, actually.
Whoa.
She moved for her relationship, and then she hasn't been able to get another coaching job. Like, it's very hard. I would say stay where stay where you're. Is his job more amendable where they have more opportunities for him to be closer to you? Like, is that a possibility? Have y'all talked about that? Can y'all talk about that when you meet next month? Is there a way that he can do remote? You physically have to be there for your job. Is there a way that he can do remote? Or is there a way for him to find something else? But like, it's just hard. I would say like, stay in your job and get that experience. And like, if this is a person you're meant to be with, another year isn't going to hurt anything. Like, get the experience under your belt and then try and see if like you can apply, if that's the place you want to move. If like after a year, then you can apply. But like I said, it's like really hard to get those kind of jobs. And is that something that you're willing to sacrifice? Is that something he's willing to sacrifice? After y'all have your call next month, I would like you to do an update, because it's tough. And unfortunately, we live in a society where you have to choose sometimes between work and love. And I hope for you. I hope the best for you, no matter what the outcome is.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And like, I think that, like Melissa said, there's a really big difference between you getting this job. And like, Mons has a friend who does athletic coaching, and like, they're in a state, and like, when they found out where they were, and I was like, are they from there? And Mons was like, no, that's where he got the job. And like,
yeah,
he had to make the life there. And like, none of their friends lived there. And like, he had to start a whole new life there. And there's a huge difference between that and then someone getting a promotion at their job and then wanting to stay a little longer until they get to like an X point or whatever. That kind of goalpost will always keep moving. And I think if kids are a priority for you and settling down in that way is a priority for you, you should be with someone who it's a priority for them too. Because if they're going to pick work and prioritize work over that, which I don't think there's anything wrong with, you can't prioritize family while he prioritizes work, because he will always prioritize work while you prioritize family, and you will just resent each other. Like, it just won't work out how you want it to. And he might not even be ready to have kids soon, because he's like, oh no, I want to wait till I'm done with this promotion. And then you're like, so I gave up my career and like my opportunity for this, which is what I thought we were going to get to do. But like, you're not ready for this yet. And then it becomes everything's kind of on his timeline. And I will also say that, like, I know you said your 20s, you would never do this, but you're in your 30s now. Everyone I know in their 30s who it was single by the time, like in their 30s, or still dating, the ones who have ended up married, met their person, within 5 days for like, this is who I'm marrying. They were on the same page with everything. They had kids pretty quickly. They got married very quickly. Like, it was just like the friends I had who were like, I'm ready to be a mom. They found people who were ready to be dads. Like, they were ready for that at that point. And it might seem hard because I don't know how much of a shift it's been for you suddenly. Like, it happens for some people where it's like, oh, it really reprioritized everything. To know that like every man and every person you want to be with doesn't think the same way that he does isn't a hurdle you'll have to incur in every relationship. And it can be hard to kind of take a step back and realize like, oh, the sacrifices I'm making here aren't necessarily sacrifices I have to make in a relationship. It's not a given. It's just the one here. And like, does that help me achieve what I want? And like, does he want what I want at the end of the day? But yeah, I think like Melissa said, like talk to him about it. And I think bring up the idea of like, you know, I can't move now because of this. What would like your team be in? Like, would they let you do remote work where essentially you can do half of like do a month remote, a month in the office, a month remote, like something like that? Or can they let you finish off the year remotely, like whatever it is? But I think if he's not willing to sacrifice any of that, that will become a pattern. And I don't think you want to have kids with someone like that.
Yep.
But let us know. I'm very curious how this goes. And I hope the best for you.
Me
and congratulations on your job. That's like Melissa said, that's like very impressive.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll get into the rest.
Do you love Disney? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. There is nothing we don't cover.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
Each week, we deliver 4 fun-filled shows.
In Don't Blame Me, we tackle our listeners' dilemmas with hilariously honest advice.
Then we have But Am I Wrong, which is for the listeners that didn't take our advice. Plus, we share our hot takes on current events.
Then tune in to See You Next Tuesday for our listener poll results from But Am I Wrong?
And finally, wrap up your week with Fisting Friday, where we catch up and talk all things pop culture.
Listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
I'm Brennan Storr.
I'm Paul Bestall.
We're the Ghost Story Guys.
And every 2 weeks, we explore first-person stories of encounters with the paranormal from all around the world.
Then we have some fun reacting to those stories. We like to say our goal is to scare the hell out of you, then make you laugh.
Belief in the paranormal is not required. All you need is a love of great storytelling and curiosity about the world around you.
Come find the Ghost Story Guys on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else fine podcasts live, or at ghoststoryguys.com.
And we are back. It is time for our next one.
Hi, so some information to start. I'm 19. I'm like a little bit sensitive, and I'm a Sagittarius, if that's helpful. I'm also an Enneagram 8 wing 9. That says a lot about me. So my call is concerning my workplace. I love my job and I love what I do. I want to be vague, but I'm like a physician's assistant. I love my job because it is like a half mile away from where I live, and I work 2 jobs, and it's quite literally a 2-minute walk from my second job. I'm taking a gap year, and I intend on keeping my jobs for when I go back to school, but I'm having an issue with my workplace. The doctor I work with is legitimately, I want to say verbally abusive. I don't want to be dramatic, but he's not very nice. We've had problems with him calling people like slurs, just like berating people. He will like slam tables. I'm not exaggerating. And I just don't know what to do. I've tried to talk to my boss about it, and he just told me, oh, that's just how he is. That's just how the doctor is. And I know that I'm probably not going to find another opportunity like this again, because not a lot of places want to hire a 19-year-old. And I'm also not going to find a job that's just convenient for me. It allows me to have a second job and gain more hours shadowing a doctor. So I just don't know what to do. Do you guys think it's worth talking to the doctor about, or my boss again? A lot of my coworkers have been affected by it, and there's been people in the past who have quit because of it. I just don't know if I should quit and just try to find another place, or just suck it up and take it. He's taken a liking to me for some reason and isn't that mean to me. And whenever he's rude to me, I just leave the room. But then he just profusely apologizes and then doubles back and does it again to somebody else later. And I'm kind of at my wit's end. Any advice would be helpful. And please let me know if I'm a crybaby, whiny bitch or something. Thank you so much. Love y'all.
He's nice too because you're 19.
I was in a similar situation to this. It was an internship where this man was an asshole to everyone but me for reasons because he wanted to fuck me. Yeah. And pretty much told me when it was coming up on my last days, he said if he was younger, then I would have been on his list. He was a fucking weirdo. I tell you this as someone who's experienced this because I still think about that man more than I want to think about him. And it has been over 10 years since I worked for him. Get out because it's not going to get any better. I understand that it's convenient for you, but it's not convenient for your mental health. If you are able to find another job that, works the same hours that work with the other job and you don't have to worry about certain things, please, 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 for your own mental sanity, get out.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. And it's only going to get worse by proxy of you being near this behavior, but it's only going to get worse for you because the same reason you're no one else is going to hire me. Who hires a 19-year-old? Yeah. Who does hire a 19-year-old? Someone who you kind of get to be the exception to the rule and you get used to how he berates people. And even if it doesn't feel sexual to you right now, there is a power there that is inherently sexual in his eyes. And he doesn't have to be attracted to women for that to be the thing. It doesn't matter. There is a sexual appeal of having power over someone that is young or you view as young and impressionable, and then watching them stick around for it. It's really demoralizing and people get off on that. And I think because you're even questioning, I couldn't get this job anywhere else, I would question, not to say that discounts any, how good you are or whatever it is. But if you could not get this job anywhere else, and it's a job that's a physician's assistant, there are so many doctors, this isn't a rare job, then looking at I couldn't get this anywhere else, A, bring your confidence up, but also B, if this is the only job like this I could ever get, am I going to be able to withstand this? Am I going to be able, am I going to pursue a career in this? How long can I see myself doing this? This is going to turn me off from the entire medical field in general. And also, why do I think that I don't have what it takes? Is it because there's a part of me in my brain who thinks that he picked me there because he likes me? Am I attributing my success to him there? I think 19 is incredibly young to be a physician's assistant. That's pretty fucking young. And I think with love, I don't think you should be hired lots of other places because I don't think that if they didn't hire you other places for this at this age, I think it'd be this is far too young. This is it could be a wonderful exception to the rule, but I just don't think that this is a gig that it has fallen in your lap and you're so lucky and you need to thank your lucky stars for this whatsoever. And I think that I don't know what it is for this, but I don't know what the age is of the patients he sees, but I'm pretty sure even as a physician's assistant, you're a mandatory reporter. So if he's being verbally abusive
he's using slurs.
I was saying to specifically minors, because I don't know if mandatory reporter is for adults too. Is it?
I don't know.
And I might be wrong. It might just be a different word, but I know I always know of mandatory reporter in the sense of behavior towards minors. And even if the minors are in the office, even if they're just overhearing whatever that is, I think if you've already having not said anything, I don't think necessarily to him, but who can you report him to? Who is the board for any of that? Does he work for a hospital?
Or even just the medical board, because this is an ethics complaint. So I think there should be something. I don't know the specifics of this, but maybe asking someone who doesn't necessarily work at the place you work, but someone that's more seasoned, they may know the answers, or even you can just call and just say, I have a complaint. I'm not sure if this is the right place that I need to call. You'll probably still be out of a job. And
I think you should call and leave.
Yes. And that's like, you should not be in this situation. And also this man should not be seeing patients.
No. And like, I would make sure that when I leave, I also collect any information that I have on the circumstances that have happened and leave reviews on patient-sided websites of people who can see who are like booking appointments with that. Like when I went to my shitty rheumatologist who was like nowhere near this bad, I didn't look at reviews, but afterwards Melissa looked at reviews and she's like, shit, this is like pretty much exactly the experience that you had. But I think it's important to protect your mental health and your physical and mental well-being, and the fact that you're like wanting to say something to him and hoping that he can stop it. You also know that this behavior is really harmful for other people. And so I think like you owe it to other people to report him to his board, whatever that is. And you owe it to yourself to leave and to warn people who are going to try and work for him. Like, no, this man's bad.
This place has a bad turnover rate too. So there are other people that feel the same way that you do. Maybe you can even like find out who those people are. And if something happens, then like blasting like who this man is. And I'm sure other people will come forward. Sometimes it just takes one person. If you feel like mentally capable to be able to handle that, then whistleblow.
Yeah. And I would say if you're also in a single party consent state, before you report it, if you can record audio or video of it happening, don't post it publicly, but if you can use that for your case to report him, because he should not be practicing. Horrible. And you're not sensitive at all. Like this is, if anything, I think you're underreacting.
Yes. Yes. If you were sensitive, you would have been out of there and you wouldn't have called us. You just would have quit and been done.
Yeah. Well, it is time for Don't Blame Them, which is where a listener will call in with their own advice pertaining to a call that we had on a previous episode. So they might have personal experience that they have lived through, they have had a friend go through it, or they have professional experience. It's in their field. So let's see.
Hi, I'm calling for a Don't Blame Them in regards to the episode Trying to Make a Toxic Relationship Work for the caller who just got a new job, fresh out of college, but also has a vacation plan. I just wanted to agree with everything that Meghan and Melissa said, but also offer my viewpoint on it. I worked for over a decade in payroll and human resources for a third-party company, which basically meant I did other company stuff through my company. So I've seen hundreds of other companies, and I've done their onboarding, new hire paperwork, did PTO requests, timesheets, paid everybody. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've done new hire paperwork and then immediately had timesheets with PTO on it. It is such a common thing for people to get hired and already have vacation plans. And it gets more common the older you get, too, and more experience that you get in jobs. It is nothing that the caller needs to be worried about, even though she is like fresh out of college or anything. It is definitely nothing that they're going to like look askance at. It is so totally normal. Go on your vacation, have fun.
Oh my God. Thank you. Like, I know that we said that and we know that, but like now you have to listen and believe. So like, thank you for listening to that and being like, I have to call in to reassure.
Someone that has actual experience in the field. Us just kind of spitballing.
Yeah. Us being like, we have corporate friends. Like, we know you're allowed to do this.
Yeah.
But oh my God, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time. I always wonder about people who have to do those jobs, like the like third party HR stuff. I'm like, damn, got to keep track of everybody.
Right.
I'm like, you must watch like all the Real Housewives so like you can have like all of like the storylines running in different places. Like you got to be lots of things running all at once. Couldn't be me. My brain doesn't work like that. Well, that is it. We hope you all enjoyed If you did, you can always leave us a review for the podcast over on the Apple app or Spotify. Again, you can join our Patreon, watch the video version. We also do live streams there twice a month. Make some friends. Have a good time. It's so fun. Are you Irish? We have Irish people. Are you a Kiwi? We've got New Zealanders, Australian, Canadians.
Why did you say are you a Kiwi with an Irish accent?
I was still in my Irish face. Sorry. Canadian, American, Swedish, German.
I think that's
geography wasn't my strong
everybody.
suit.
I think that's everybody though.
I can't wait.
Where's our gal that was briefly in South Africa? You haven't been back in a while.
Oh yeah, where is she? Where's our listener who was a stewardess on a yacht? And we got to have the update with her, and she was like
on the yacht.
Yeah, and then we turned off like the recording, and then we made her give us a tour from room.
Yes, she gave us like a tour of like a lot of the yacht. Too.
Yeah, no, she walked us through the yacht.
Yeah.
We win, everybody. No one got to see but us. We loved it. Yeah, I gotta know. How you doing, babe? Reach out. Send us a DM. That's it. We hope y'all enjoyed. Call us for an upcoming episode. Write us in for next episode. And we are here to give you advice. And we hope we changed your lives.
Tomorrow we have See You Next Tuesday, where we're still talking about Bridgerton stuff. And also my new food thing that I might be getting into.
Good God.
Wednesday, you've got a little break. Thursday, we've got But Am I Wrong? And then Friday, Fisting Friday.
Hell yeah. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye. Bye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production sound and editing by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Lauro, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth.
Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural then and now.